No, it still says off air. All right, now it says that we're live, so it's gonna lag a little bit, and then we're gonna come live. But this is Tom Cormier here, eCom Tom, and this is my first live on YouTube so far. So thank you guys for watching, whoever is watching at the moment. I'm actually watching. You guys are seeing a commercial right now, I think. So I'm here with Ty, and Ty and I have been talking back and forth on Facebook for probably, I don't know how many months now, like probably 6 months or something. A
Yeah.
while, back and forth, on and off. We've been planning on doing something, some sort of video, and I realize that everybody just likes to do these YouTube lives, and I always do Facebook lives, which not a lot of people do, but I'm conforming a bit to the YouTube live scene. So I actually do plan on doing one Facebook live and one YouTube live a week, and then hopefully launching 2 YouTube videos a week as well, trying to get more of a structure going as we get into the new year, and trying to make sure that people know when I'm going to be on at what point in time, and just what to expect from me, which I really do think is what, I don't know if you've noticed this, Ty, but what a lot of like the bigger YouTubers do, it's kind of, they have a structure so the people that are watching, like, they really know what's kind of going on. And we got 14 people on right now. So thank you guys for taking the time out of your day on Christmas Eve, which I didn't realize it was until after I scheduled it, and last night. And so thank you guys for being here, and just ask any questions you want as we go. I'm going to start off a little bit by interviewing Ty, and then we're just going to probably get into a back and forth on, what we're doing and what our plans are for the rest of the year, and, how we're doing with our dropshipping. So if you want to introduce yourself, Ty, just take the stage.
Yeah, so guys, if you're in this live stream, make sure you press that like button, give him
I
some
like that
support.
shit. Like that shit.
And, let us know in the chat who you are, in the chat, just comment like who you are, where you're from and whatever, so we know who's watching. So yeah, so a little about me, I'm sure a lot of you guys that follow Tom, know me too. So, but yeah, I do eBay and Amazon dropshipping. I started with the Amazon dropshipping, I mean the eBay dropshipping first, and then I slowly transitioned into the Amazon. But then for Amazon, it was on and off because like I had capital issues and cancellation and metrics and suspension. So like I kind of got fucked. But yeah, so I started my dropshipping career when I was 17 years old. Well, yeah, almost 18 years old at that point, and so I had to learn from scratch, A to Z. I there were courses already at that point, but then like I don't know, I just started myself and just didn't bother to look at course until I was like halfway into the business. Then I looked into the courses, but that set me like had me with a really good foundation, and that's what I really appreciate about how I started.
You think that you learn better just from learning on your own first and then taking or seeing courses afterwards? Or do you wish that you saw a course from the beginning and did that?
I mean, it's kind of both ways. I mean, because the fact that I had to learn everything by myself, I had to be resourceful and actually solve my own problem when I ran into it. So, I had to Google it and, figure it out on my own. And I didn't have anybody to be like, hey, how do I fix this? Or how do I do that? I had to fix it by myself. And that's kind of like the really important skill to have when it comes to any business. And I think I was able to really build that because of that. But then nowadays, if I were to restart my career, yes, I would take a course because it would definitely save a lot of time and errors and money.
No, I feel you about that. I mean, when I started, I took a course, obviously, when I started, and I can't say that it was the worst course ever, although I can't say that it was anywhere close to the best course ever. But it did get you started just in the way that, you kind of, it puts you in a ballpark idea of where you should go and what you should be doing, even if it's not that great and it's really not well explained. It's more information than you had beforehand, and it's not that you had to like sort through 5 different people's opinions to get there. You kind of already have it all jumbled up.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with the course idea, but I do think that I would have picked a better one if I possibly could have from the beginning. But I was young and impressionable, I guess.
Wait, so what course did you take, by the way? What
I
course?
took Andre. Do you know Andre Kreisberg, the
Oh yeah, him. Okay,
British guy?
yeah,
I ended up coaching for him too for a while. Like I hit 50,000 in sales, but it's like I'm not here to trash talk the guy or anything. I hope that we kind of just squashed our beef or whatever. But it's like I did basically all of this on my own. Like none of it had very much to do with him, except for using Zik Analytics, which he talks about. And
Yeah.
besides that, I mean, a lot of just the US based getting tax exempt, everything like that. I figured that all out on my own. And it's like, it sucked. It was a lot of work, but I did it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was there. It was confusing. It was hectic, dude.
Oh yeah. So we got 26 people on right now. Jenny says,
Yep.
do you know that you can broadcast across Facebook and YouTube at the same time? I did know that, yes, but I'm not that advanced yet. Christian asked about stacking Mr. Rebates. So I'll talk about that after. We'll get in a few more questions with Ty. And then Kevin says this is the one that I want to answer, actually. Kevin says he's from Colorado Springs. I'm in Fort Collins right now. So I think we're like 2.5 hours away. It's not that far. And then IP hiding. Okay. So then so you started on Amazon, on eBay, you did your eBay stuff. And then basically what made you decide to get into Amazon dropshipping?
Well, I mean, I just saw a bunch of people doing it, and I was following Matt, and he was with Mark, and then Mark kind of introduced that Amazon dropshipping, and so I watched some of his videos. I learned a little bit through him, and then I was just like, okay, why not start on Amazon?
Yeah,
start. I mean, why not?
Do you think you started too quickly?
Well, it's not a matter of too quickly. I think it's just I started even though like I wasn't too aware of like the suspension side of things, the suspension and the account reviews. And that's
Yeah.
really important when you start Amazon dropshipping because if you don't know, you're gonna suspend it like me.
Yeah.
That's just what's gonna happen.
No, to be honest, like one of the main reasons why I didn't start right away is because I saw you getting banned left, right, and center.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, all right, I'll let him go through this first, or let somebody else go through it, and then I'll come back afterwards, and then I'll try to learn from their mistakes. And that's kind of, I didn't get started until about like 5 weeks ago, but I knew I was going to get into it.
Yeah.
So one thing that I can say that I did that like I always try to do when I'm trying to start a new venture is I get a VA on like the most basic task first, and I like have them doing it for like a month or so in advance before I even start. So I had a VA sourcing items for Amazon dropshipping for 2 months before I started, to the point where I actually forgot I had that VA until she was like, Tom, like, it's time to get paid. I was like, oh, all right, yeah, sure. Like, let me check. So I checked. I was like, oh yeah, you actually did some pretty good work. Here you go. So that's kind of what I think that is most important when you're trying to start some new things. It's just like, if you're not ready to get into it, at least have somebody, if you have the money to, obviously, in the background just doing things for you. Like, I still kind of forget that I have her. I hope she doesn't watch these videos and I hear she say this.
But then again, like because of my suspensions, I was able to learn a lot about how Amazon works itself. So
yeah,
it's a bad thing, but then I actually learned a lot from it because I was able to help a few people, with their suspension and learn what to do with it in case I get suspended again.
How many times did you get suspended? 3, was it?
Yeah, 3 to be exact. Yeah, 3.
What were they for?
So the first one was account review. I went over a certain amount within like the first month, right? Yeah. So and then the second one, yeah.
Okay.
And then the second month was the second suspension was for late shipment.
Okay.
And then the third one was just BS. I just got suspended for no reason, really.
Okay. So the late shipment one, was that actual late shipments? Was it like Walmart being late, or what was it?
Yeah. So yeah, that was half of it was like Walmart being late, and then half of it was just me kind of being lazy. Even though I knew how to fix it, I was just like, all right, let's slide. And that's the thing with Amazon. Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt with like eBay recently. Like one of my accounts went below standard, and like I haven't made a post about that yet, but one of my accounts went below standard, and it's bullshit. I completely reamed out eBay the other day, to the point where they told me that if I called in again and like yelled at them like that, they'd block my number from being able to ever call in again. That's when you know. That's when you know you go hard against the customer support. But basically, they evaluate your account every 20th of the month, right? Like,
yeah,
everybody knows that. And I was if forecasted to be below standard, and I had 2 cases that are close without buyer or seller solution or whatever that is. Yeah. And basically that's the metric that only goes top rated or below standard. There's no above standard there. It's like the holy grail of the metrics that you don't want to fuck up. And I had 3 cases that I knew I could get deleted or taken off, and I called on the 18th, and she agreed to take all 3 of them off. If all 3 of them got taken off, then I would have gone back to top rated. And they didn't get taken off until the 21st. So I got reevaluated on the 20th as below standard. And then I called in and I was like, are you kidding me? And they're like, well, you have a history of calling in late about these things. I'm like, hey, I'm busy. I don't know if like what you do every day, but I'm not looking at these things every day. So it kind of was a, you know, a wake up call that you need to like, as big as you get and as like, you know, as knowledgeable you get about the business, like you need to make sure that you're always like keeping track of these things. And that's the one thing that I've realized over time is like you can't slack.
Yeah, and it's like super important on Amazon too, because you know you're suspended on Amazon. It's like another story if you compare it to eBay. You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, that's what I've heard, and I'm afraid for it to happen. And that's
Yeah.
why. So I'm trying to get, I mean, a second Amazon account. Ask for a second one because I know you can, as long as you
Yeah.
have like a reason. I'm trying to get like a second and a third, hopefully before any shit hits the fan. Just so if shit does hit the fan, then like I already have some backup plans.
Okay, so let me speak about that. So if you're gonna be asking for a second or third Amazon account, you just be aware that it is gonna be linked to your first account. So
Yeah,
potentially, if your first account is suspended, you're potentially screwed all of your other accounts.
yeah, that is true, I guess. But
But Matt teaches you how to create stealth accounts. So
yeah,
that's really the way that you want to go, because even Amazon allows you two accounts, and for this or specific business, they're not gonna allow you because we're drop shipping. You're trying to get two accounts from them and get permission, they're not gonna allow you.
all right, that's true. All right, guys. So ask some of your questions here. We have 38 people watching. YouTube lives are so much more popular than Facebook, it seems. We
Yeah,
got
yeah.
11,000 people in the Facebook group, and we've only had 38 people once when I was going live. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I do have any other question. How's Amazon going? How was your, you know, like the most recent month? How'd you do?
Yeah, so my November, I stopped at the end of November. I didn't sell through December because
Okay.
I had to deal with cancellation. But I was on track to do 100K. I was up to 70K, and then I had so many problems that I didn't expect, because I thought they weren't gonna cancel my orders, but then they just canceled like all of it, and it's just a
Was
mess.
that all because were they like electronics items or
Yeah,
something?
electronics is a mess because
That's the one
originally.
thing. So I did sell one TV and they didn't cancel. There was one dude ordered 4 of them, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
fuck, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad." And then another person ordered 1, and another person ordered 1, and somehow I got the one where somebody ordered 4 to go through,
and then
and
the
then the
rest.
other ones got canceled, and then so that was only 2 cancellations, so it wasn't that much.
Yeah, so the problem that I had was that, I was selling a lot, and I thought they would only cancel like a specific item after you order a certain amount, right? But then they just ended up canceling all of them. So I'm just like, what? I didn't know. I didn't expect that. So
No, I feel you.
it's just sucks.
That's the one thing I didn't realize I had so many electronics on eBay from Walmart because I was like, I set up this thing and it took a little bit of like computer coding knowledge and stuff. Not saying that I'm anywhere close to decent at that, but I set up this program where it connects all the APIs of these other programs. So I connected my Gmail to my just to this other part of this program where it codes things out, and then to a Google Sheet. And
Mhm.
basically, I got it so that I could look at the cancellation emails from Walmart, and then it would literally send it to a Google Sheet automatically, and then just I could look at them every day. So
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
actually a pretty cool thing that I coded. And then I was like, oh, only like 1 cancellation. It was just something weird, 2. And then once Christmas started, it was like 7 in one day. I was like, oh
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, that's
Oh, and
mad.
I started looking. I was like, laptops, tablets, TVs, and that's all it was.
Yeah, and I think they set some sort of policy during the holidays where they just cancel all of your electronics.
It seems that way
So
because they know who's the resellers. They
yeah,
obviously
they
know.
know, they're not dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty
A-
obvious.
and people are just like, oh, you gotta hide or something like that, and it's just like, no, that's you're not gonna hide.
No, yeah, I don't see when people are like, "Oh, people don't know." How does eBay tell that you're drop shipping from Amazon? How do they not tell? It's like, what are you giving them to make it look any different? You're using the same pictures, you're using the same description. Your custom label on eBay has the Amazon ASIN in it, like everything. There's
Yeah,
so many
speaking
things.
of that, I just got a neutral feedback today which says dropship from Amazon, which I should be calling them and removing it now.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. At this point in time, I've gotten my customer service so decent and automated with my VAs that
Yeah,
I've floated from 99.1 to 99.5 on every account for the
yeah,
last like 4 months without even calling in. So I just kind of leave it where it is. I don't really
yeah.
care.
At some point, it just doesn't matter because you're doing so much volume.
Yeah. So do you want to answer some questions
Yeah,
here?
let's answer some questions.
I was going to start with one thing that Christian, he's always here. Christian's on every live that I do.
Yeah.
Christian asked, What's up with stacking Mr. Rebates accounts for extra cash back? Did you have to do anything unique when opening the second Mr. Rebates account? Literally, so Christian, I don't know if there's a science behind this because I just did this. This is just me doing it. But literally, if you look at Mr. Rebates, instead of like Top Cashback has a referral code where if you refer somebody, you get like $10 or something like that. Be Frugal has one. I think it's like 5 or 15 or some shit.
I think 10. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So 10 too. Mr. Rebates is 20% of whoever you referred's cash back.
Oh shit! Really?
Which is crazy. Yeah. So what I did was I made one account and then I referred my other account to myself. So I have my Mr. Rebates connected to Sale Freaks, which automatically orders it. And then it automatically goes through Mr. Rebates. So on one of Mr. Rebates account, I have like almost $2,000. And the other
Holy
one,
shit.
yeah, and then the other one has 20% of that. And it's just so it's been working pretty sweet. Like I don't know why other people don't do that.
Wait, but they have that like where you get 20% of like the total cashback?
Yeah, the person that you referred's total cashback.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just think that they haven't. Mr. Rebates is so small and they haven't really been exploited like Top Cash has yet that they don't really. So on one account right now, I have pending $1,855.76 with an available of $82, and then the other one because they give you all the cash after 3 months. So I just started. I think they just came out with Mr. Rebates about 3 months ago on Sale Freaks, and the other one I have pending cashback of $436.45 with available of $25.73. So I have over $2,200 on Mr. Rebates, $2,300. So,
and then 3 months later, you come back and look, you have $82.
Yeah, they just take it all. But
keep me updated on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so far so good. We'll see. So that's what it is, Christian. I wanted to answer your question there. Another question Christian has is IP hiding, incognito tab, VPN. Oh yeah, no, I don't do anything with that with Mr. Rebates. It's all just, I don't know. There's really no trick to it.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
So hello, please. I have a problem with product research. I don't know how to search for product who can have a good number of cells. Do you want to answer that? You can answer that one.
Okay. So well, we have 47 people on now. So
48.
48 now.
God. Toss some likes down. Toss some
likes. And by the way, they actually have like a super chat feature too, so you can talk about that. But do you know about that?
Yeah, I don't know if I set that up, but I don't know. This is my first live here.
Yeah, I can talk to you about that, but
all right.
But I'll answer the question. So what was the question?
It's about I don't know how to search for a good number for a good item or good items that have good number of sales. It's the most basic question that's always asked.
Okay, well, I mean, nowadays you have a bunch of softwares that have data like Zeek Analytics or Chili Hunter. You just scan the seller, and this is for eBay, right? So eBay is easy, and Amazon is also easy because you have your BSR ranks, so you can just kind of tell, and then you have like extensions to tell like how many times it's sell in a month when you enter a rank. So let's say 100,000, maybe sell like 10 times every month.
How many? What extension do you use for that, if you don't mind saying?
Yeah, so I mean they have multiple. You have Jungle Scout, you have ASIN Inspector or something like that. So you can use one of those two.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I'm gonna go Zik all day for eBay. That's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I Chili Hunter. I don't like Chili Hunter. People always ask why. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like when you look up somebody on Zik, it shows you all of their items in a row and which ones have sold in which have sold order or like how much they've sold order. The Chili Hunter, I don't know if I was just doing something wrong, but I used it for a decent amount of time. It wasn't like I gave it a college try, like a 1-day attempt. Like I used Chili Hunter for a while. First off, it's $40 a month and Zik is $25. And then it just didn't make sense when you looked at people's items. Like you had to like switch pages to like find other good ones. And I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. The one cool thing about Chili Hunter is they had that, I don't know if you've ever seen it, was like the Vero checker. Did you see that?
I think they had that in Zeek too. I think they had that.
Yeah, they do. But so that's for like individual items. But for the Chili Hunter one, you can add, like you can put in an entire title and it'll check if there's anything in that title that's Vero. So what I would do is I used to like take 50 titles at once and paste them all in there, and then it would check each one. And then cool. You could kind of look through there. It was just another check and balance to have. So another question we have is, do you guys know whose course to take for international sellers? Do you have any idea?
No idea.
I have,
Well, David Vu's course, but his course is outdated.
yeah,
So
that's really old.
yeah, I don't think it would be a good
I
idea.
really don't know any international. I know that there's a few. I mean, at least Sawar came out with his UK one,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
UK.
But I don't know if that's, that's just for being in the UK, I think. But I think this is Israel G's question. I think that might be more for people that are like looking for international people selling on US Amazon. I mean US
Yeah,
eBay and stuff like that. I really don't know. I feel like we get so many questions like that too, and I feel bad because I don't know the answer, but I
yeah,
also don't know why people would think I know the answer because I've only ever lived in the United States.
yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. So any other questions here? Tom, can you and Ty name some of your mentors and people in your network who you continue to follow in eBay, Amazon, and business? In the eBay and Amazon business. Do you want to go?
Yeah, so Matt Gamble, I follow a lot. I follow the Andre dude a little bit too, but he's
Yeah.
kind of in his own world, so I don't really follow him much.
Yeah.
And then you have Tyler, you have Paul. I mean, those are a few names.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I'm in Matt Gambrell's group. I mean, it's on and off following. It's really not a dedicated following, I would say. Mark, I mean, I follow Mark all the time. Me and Mark talk nonstop. We were talking this morning. I really like Mark and everything that he does. Besides that, I don't really follow that many people for eBay anymore, just because of the fact that I feel like there's really not much to follow anymore for me, at least. Like, I feel like I kind of am at the point where I know eBay, but I definitely don't know Amazon as well. So, I mean, I'm asking Amanda Kaufman questions all the time. I'm always asking Ron Myers from Web Scraper App questions. So that's I mean, he's not out there on YouTube or anything, but
Yeah.
he's great to talk with. Another mentor that I used to follow that has nothing to do with drop shipping at all is this guy Dave Kosciuszko, and he does cell phone flipping, and that's
Oh,
how I kind of got into eBay to begin with. That's like he does, he's the OG course creator from before like course or right when course creation kind of got big, and he has a cell phone flipping guide, which is great. Like I've made a lot of money doing it, so it's not like it's one of those courses where you're just selling the course to make money. But
yeah.
it was he has 1,000 people in this course, and it's $1,000 course. I was like, woohoo!
Whoa.
Yeah, that's why I said he's an OG. Oh god, we have a ton of questions here. There is a super chat here.
Yeah. So someone donated a super chat.
Luxury
So
car store. Thank you very much. I did enable it, I guess. I think it just
yeah,
enables automatically.
yeah. It's automatically set up for you.
Oh, okay. I really had no idea. Also, that we have we have two downvotes here. We had one downvote before the live started. That's when you know that I must have a hater out there somewhere. So keep on hating. I like it. So my account went below standard as well, yet it was an eBay mistake. They duplicated my listings and reposted the items already. That's weird. I mean, yeah, eBay seems to fuck up all the time. So I've noticed a lot about just how they will mess up and then just blame it on you, or just I
Oh
don't know.
yeah. My account got like restricted a few times because their policies were kind of contradicting, and I was just like, why? And they're just like, they just tell me some basic stuff, and then they still do the same shit to me, and then it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
And I always teach create new accounts, which I don't know how good of a technique it is at the moment anymore. But one of my accounts I created was perfectly fine when I started off the bat. And then I created another one right off the bat. And within one day, it got banned. And I called them up. I was like, why did it get banned? They're like, oh, because you didn't fill out one of these policies correctly. I was like, all right. And then within 2 seconds, it got fixed again. I was like, all right. It makes no
Yeah.
sense. So, what are your main tips to avoid getting eBay accounts throttled in the beginning? What do you think about that?
Well, if as people are saying, people, the reps are, watching your accounts and putting
Yeah.
whatever on your account. I mean, there's really nothing you can do unless you just don't drop ship from the major suppliers. Like you can use some weird suppliers that people don't use, and that should help you avoid it, really.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Like, even when people were saying that Amazon sales were falling, I mean, I was seeing some of that, yes. but like I was seeing Walmart pick up, and I sold a shit ton of Walmart over this just Christmas period. And now that people are saying, oh, Walmart's kind of getting like targeted too, which, you know, is possibly true, but them still selling a decent amount, more than what a lot of people are wishing they could sell. I'm looking at my account saying, wow, like it's not anywhere close to September. But then, you know, you got to think, you know, where you are compared to other people and still, you know, be thankful for that. So like you said, Ty, I really do want to get into some other sources in general. And I really do
Yeah.
think that that's something that will kind of hopefully make it more sustainable for the future, either whether that be other retailers or just people that want you to drop ship their items. Like there's people out there that want you
Yeah.
to drop ship their items. You just have to
And
go
that
find them.
and that just goes into the wholesale part, drop shipping part,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the private label, and that's just, you know, that's just a lot more work, but then as Tom says, a lot more sustainable and long term, because if you do those type of things, you can start working towards building your own brand and products, and you know, no one's gonna shut your brands down, right? I
No,
mean,
I mean,
they
yeah,
still could, but like it's a lot more safe essentially.
yeah. Um, so where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Where were we? I feel like there's going to end up being so many comments here that if we end up going through them all, it's going to take 2 hours. Um, so what are the main tips to avoid getting? Oh, all right, that was the one for Amazon dropshipping. I'm stuck between Amanda's course and Matt's course. Do you guys have any input on a way to sway my decision? Have you bought? Do you have both, Ty?
Okay, I don't have Amanda's course, but what I'm gonna say is buy Matt's course. It's Matt's course over Amanda's course. That's just how it is.
All right. The only thing
Matt's the
I can
guy.
say, I have both. I just got Matt's this morning. I don't have an opinion on it because I haven't watched more than like 3 videos, and they were the shortest videos he had on there. The
Yeah.
only thing I can say, because I'm going to be transparent, I don't fucking play sides, is Amanda's course is definitely obviously cheaper. It's 1/3 of the price.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's more than 1/3 of the price, but or it's less than 1/3 of the price. It seems to be more towards the beginner, the very beginner. Like if you're gonna teach, you know, if I was to make a course on eBay dropshipping right now, and for an advanced person, I probably wouldn't put very much emphasis on sourcing items because I would expect that you know how to do it, and I would put
Yeah.
more emphasis on how to make sure your account's good, how to get better profits, how to make sure you're tax exempt on everything, getting your sales tax IDs, stuff like that. But if I was to make a beginner course again, it would be, all right, this is how you set up your eBay account. This is how you know, source items and hold your hand through like a return process. And
Yeah.
that's where Amanda's course is definitely more the beginner side, where Matt's, so far from what I've seen, seems to be more of the, all right, this is the advanced package for the people that, you know, might have already been doing it for a while. But I don't know how much is actually covered in Matt's because I haven't gone over it all yet. So don't take my word as complete gospel.
Yeah, but you know, like when you learn from Matt, you know, like he actually manages multiple accounts, just so you guys know, like
Yeah.
multiple accounts, and he's been through a lot with the suspensions and know how Amazon works. Because as a regular person who runs like one account or two account, you can't really see the same thing when you have somebody else that's run 25 accounts, right?
It's 100% true. I mean, that's how I kind of feel now. Like looking back at the first eBay course I made, like, yeah, it's going to get you to a point. We've had multiple people hit 100,000 in sales and stuff. But now that I've, you know, been managing multiple accounts and I know how to deal with all these things and just, you know, the types of just different sources and what you need to do and the types of just different ways to go about it. Like you could go Sale Freaks, you could go, which is completely automated. You could go completely not automated, manual. You could go somewhere in between. And that's why
Yeah.
I like to make a course. When I remake the course, I want to make it everything and kind of pick your own path type of course, you know, like one of those
Yeah.
books that you would read as a kid where you could pick your own ending. We'll kind of do something
Yeah.
like that. So any advice for increasing eBay listing limits in the beginning? Call all the time. What are these message retracted? Does that mean that people just deleted their message?
Or they message or they put it in the chat too fast.
Okay. For increasing your listing limits in the beginning is just call all the time. Hit your limits or get close to hitting your limits and then call. Like, don't say, hey, can I have new limits when you haven't even like filled up 20% of them?
Yeah, yeah. So a tip on that is you can actually artificially fake your limits and call them after you artificially fake it.
I have seen a way to increase your limits extremely high in the beginning, and I'm not going to give the answer to it because I've seen way too many people started off doing that and completely fuck their accounts and get banned.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's that the limits are there to protect you too, not because like eBay, you know, wants to do that, right? I mean, it's to protect you and their customers and their
No, it
followers.
really is, because people will
Yeah,
say, "Oh, like I started off with a very low limit." Sure, if you start off with 10 items and $1,000, yeah, that's low. That's way too low. Get a store first off. Get a basic store. Say, "Hey, the basic store allows me to have 250 items. Why can't I have 250?" They'll give
yeah,
it. But
yeah.
if you want like fucking 50,000 items and a $250,000 limit, and right off the bat, you go on Sale Freaks, you have a little boner. You're like, yeah, I'm going to list all these items. This is great. And then you like list out like tons of items. You max out your limit, your account's screwed, your repricer doesn't work. And then, then you're screwed. At that point,
Yeah.
you're pretty much screwed. If you max out your limits, your repricer doesn't work. So you have to think of it that way. So where are we here? Do you have any questions that have popped out to you? One person said that I was the most attractive YouTube drop shipper. So I thank you very much.
Very
Hyper.
attractive.
That was exactly
I
what I needed to hear today. Thank you.
there's just so many questions. Let me see.
You got 46 people watching. Thank you very much for coming out today. Like, it's Christmas Eve. I didn't think that many people
Yeah.
would show up.
See, it's Christmas Eve. People are still gonna watch you.
Yeah, that's how I feel good now. Should give you more leverage. Do you guys snipe? I mean, I snipe
Yeah.
yes, that's all I really do. But nowadays, if I'm looking at different sources, like I've been trying to do for people to try to get some videos and some content out on that, not just Amazon and Walmart, it's so much harder to find people selling these items. It's so much harder. Like Home Depot, sure, you'll find that all day. But if you go into something like Websterants, which nobody's even heard of, like
No
it's a pretty good supplier. I listed 5 Websterant items and 3 of them sold. So
Ooh.
it's like pretty good, but it's so hard to find somebody selling those things. But when you find a decent one, you find a decent one.
See, guys, he just gave you his secret supplier to making a ton of money on eBay.
Yeah, that's one right there. And I doubt eBay's looking at it.
Yeah.
Jenny says, "What about Giving Assistant? Have you ever used Giving Assistant?"
Yeah, I actually tested. I test. I try to test a lot of things too. I have multiple accounts. I have Top Cashback, Giving Assistance, Mr. Rebates, Ebates, and because I test a lot of accounts, I kind of learn how they all generally work together. And what I've learned is like they all have this like the same kind of policy where they say once you do a lot of volume,
Yeah.
they might not be able to pay you for those reselling orders.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I feel you on that. One that a lot of people don't talk about, I know Matt talked about in his course just by me clicking through on it, was You Promise. You
Oh.
Promise. A lot of people don't talk about that, but it's 5% cash back on every single website all the time. But most of them have a purchasing limit per month. So Walmart is consistently 5%. So if Top Cash Back and Ebates are low that week or that day, I have my VAs go to You Promise, and it's only $10,000 you can purchase a month on there. Which when I didn't do a lot of Walmart, that was great. But now when I'm pushing a lot of Walmart sales, it's good for $500 a month, and that's it.
Yeah.
So what about? Yeah, I'm on most question and answer. I come because I do have questions. Christian, I appreciate it. You're gonna kill it. You guys didn't have to hide your IP or anything with Mr. Rebates. No, I don't even know how to do that. If you honestly ask me how to do that, I don't know how to do that. What Amazon dropshipping courses have each of you learned from? So we already answered that. Amanda Kaufman, at least for me, and Matt Gambrell is what we both just got. So
yeah, and I actually have multiple Amazon dropshipping courses that I've taken, and from watching Matt at where I'm at right now, I would say Matt's course. It's not favoritism. Like it's actually his course. What he's saying in the course is like actually very advanced stuff, and really gets you to see like everything inside the business in terms of the profit, keeping track of everything. Really, that's really important.
It's the real business part of things. It gets out of the hobby of the sport and more into the business of this. You know what I mean? A lot of people start this as a hobby, or they say that they're doing it as business, but they don't take it seriously. And like that's the one thing I'm realizing, at least towards the end of this year, where I'm like, fuck, I need to get my books taken care of. And then I like call a lady, you know who I called, and then she's like, $1,250 a month. I'm like, there's no chance in hell I am paying that. But maybe eventually I might realize who I hired for a lot cheaper might not be the best option. But so far they seem pretty good, and they did all my work last year. So Ninja Hyper says, Jenny, thank you for adding all the features. I emailed you guys. Jenny's the best. She kills it on spot and paste. And that leads into the next question where Christian says, why'd you guys switch from spot and paste to or from Smarty Drop to spot and paste? So did you ever use Smarty Drop, Ty?
Okay, so I researched Smarty Drop and Smart and Paste, but I think I've used it for a little bit, but then they they weren't really reachable. Like I didn't feel like I could really talk to them, right? So
Yeah.
that's why I looked into Smart and Paste, and then that's where I kind of found Jenny, and I was like, okay, she's in the U.S. Actually, someone in the U.S., and that's really the great thing about Jenny. Like she's in the U.S., like she actually knows what she's doing, and her actually really good at customer service, and that's kind of why I use that.
Yeah, Jenny's the best. She comes on here. She was on here earlier. She's on here right now, probably. But so I used Smarty Drop for a while. So I'll give my story
Yeah.
on that. I pushed Smarty Drop to so many people. I was like, use Smarty Drop, use Smarty Drop, use Smarty Drop. And I wasn't getting, first off, their affiliate didn't work. So me saying get
Oh.
Smarty Drop just for the affiliate, like people say, Tom, just some guy got mad. Tom, you put the Zik Analytics video with your affiliate in the Zik Analytics Facebook group. I'm like, first off, I talked to Nahar this morning. I told him I was doing it. He told me it was fine. Like, I don't know why you get upset about that. And like, then he
Yeah.
asked me to do work with him and offered me other free things. I was like, we have a relationship going on. And I love Zik. And I like, but so Smarty Drop, their affiliate didn't work. I had like 13 people signed up and no money. They just didn't give me money. And I was like, so it's not like I was like pushing it to get money out of this. But like they worked very well for eBay onto or Amazon onto eBay when I first started. And like when Jenny started Spot and Paste, it wasn't as advanced as Smarty Drop was. So that's why I kept pushing Smarty Drop. But then
Yeah.
every single update anybody ever asked for, she
Yeah.
did. And then now it's better than Smarty Drop for eBay. It's on Amazon. It works on
Yep.
Amazon. It works with any supplier you want as long as you program it properly. So it's like it is the alpha program. And Smarty Drop, yeah, you can't contact the guy. They told me their CEO would email me, and he never did. And I was like,
That's
I'm
not
upset.
good.
I'm upset here. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
So luxury card store, thank you for the $2. Like I'm gonna do something great with that. And I appreciate it. So holy shit, we have a lot of questions here. All right,
Yeah.
you gotta pick one.
I'll just let you go. Okay, I'll pick one. All right.
You gotta
Okay, so let me see what else. Maybe maybe I need to refresh my page to see the questions. Let me see. I'm gonna refresh the page.
when you upload new products from the locator. So
Okay.
Ninja Hyper actually asked the question that a lot of people have been saying, and I'm not sure. I haven't really been too active on paying attention with it. And he said, when you upload new products from the locator, which is on Sale Freaks, I noticed that the title from Amazon sucks and does not describe what the item is on the title. But my only question is, the locator I thought just took the Amazon title. Last time I checked, it just took the Amazon title. So
I have no idea.
if it's messing up, then it has to be messing up extremely hard. I don't know about that. I'll get back to you with that. That would be something cool to look into because I didn't think it could fuck up that bad.
Okay, I'm gonna go through the question and see if I have any. Yeah, I think you went over most of them already.
I mean, I'm still at like the 4:21 p.m. mark. That was like 14, 15 minutes ago. For about 6 months, how can I get out of this plateau? So Brian Hendricks or something said, I've been stuck at the 2,000 to 2,500 profit a month on eBay for about 6 months. How can I get out of this plateau? Is it more of scaling? So, I mean, first off, that's great. I mean, that you made it this far. A lot of people don't make even anywhere close to that. One thing I would say is eBay seems to be restricting a lot of Amazon and Walmart related activity recently. So either find ways to get around that, which I might have an idea of, but I'm not going to say it on this chat because it's a very fledgling. It's an egg form idea at the moment, and it hasn't birthed yet. So other than that, just look into other suppliers. That's one thing I've been stressing for a while now, probably over a month, and you need to start looking into other suppliers and just other ways to try to find money. First off, there's going to be way less competition. It is going to be more manual. But that's what virtual assistants are for. And, all around, just try to find a good supplier that not very many people are using. And I remember the one thing Andre used to always say, which, I mean, I don't want to give him too much credit, but he would always say, try to find other suppliers. And I would always be like, yeah, right. Okay, whatever. And then, he's like, don't always just do Amazon and Walmart. They're the easiest. And there's a reason why they're the easiest and they're going to get shut down. And not to say they're fully shut down, but it's very noticeable what's going on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where I am with that. So where are we? SKU Grid versus Web Scraper app. Do you have an opinion on that?
SKUGrid versus West. Okay, yeah. So I've actually used SKUGrid for my Amazon store too, but then like I just only had like half of my store on SKUGrid, and then half of it was just manual still. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it does generally what it's supposed to do. I mean, it it is what you pay for. I mean, you just it only the best thing is a stock and price repricer, but then the repricer is definitely not as good as Informed.
Okay. So you would say that if you want a more reliable, what the Web Scraper app to Informed,
Yeah,
but a
that
lot
would be
more suppliers on SKU Grid.
yeah. Yeah, so that's another thing with SKU Grid. Like if you want to really work with like the weird supplier that people don't use, SKU Grid
Completely weird suppliers.
SKU Grid is there.
I found out. So I found this website the other day, or one of the kids that I was working with did, and I started looking into it, and it had a dropship program and had everything, and it seemed to be pretty cheap. And we found people drop shipping it on Walmart, like drop shipping
Really?
from that website onto Walmart. So first off, that caused me to apply for a Walmart store, of course. And so we'll see how that goes. I guess it takes a couple of weeks to get back to you. And from there, I started contacting SKUGrid to add them onto SKUGrid, at least so I could try to put them on eBay or Amazon. And they said that, it's in the works, or they'll put in like the request. They go, we no longer take payments in order to get things put on. So I guess people used to just pay SKUGrid to like push their own agenda and like
Oh,
get their sources put on there so that they didn't have to manually do everything, which I thought was pretty cool to think about,
yeah.
that people would just pay off SKUGrid for that.
Yeah, I think SKU Grid is still doing really well in terms of like how many people are using it. Like I think
I
they
think
have
it's
really big numbers.
the way I look at it is I think it's the underground silent assassins that use SKU Grid, and they're the ones that are like, I have this secret, I'm not telling anybody, and I'm just gonna kill it for as long as possible.
Yeah.
That's what I think you see a lot of on there. Do you know a good site to get discounted Amazon gift cards? Any idea?
Okay, so I actually have a guy that sells gift cards for like 10%. So I mean I can refer him to you.
All right, well that was one of the questions. I don't want Amazon gift cards. I'm okay with the
Yeah.
5% credit card, and I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about anything.
And whenever you buy a gift card, just remember that it's more profit, but then again it's more risk too. So it's up to you how you want to play the game, really.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I felt. That's how I've always felt, and
Yeah,
that's why I've never done it. Like,
yeah.
I've thought about it, and then I've never done it. Like, I do want to get into using Walmart gift cards from Card Bazaar, and I know the guy is great. I've talked with the guy. He's very legitimate, where a lot of people will go out there and be like, "All right, I'm just going to push this agenda." Like, I've talked with this guy multiple
Agenda.
times, and like he's great, but it's so much more extra bookkeeping and things where I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah, there that too.
do I have to do that? Like, that's kind of where the laziness comes into play.
Yeah,
um
it's much more on the bookkeeping side when you do the gift cards.
yeah, it's definitely a lot. So Timothy Shields asks, does it matter if Walmart products come in a Walmart box or have an invoice? I know complaints are low with eBay, but not sure how they are with Amazon, since Amazon's more strict. How do you feel about this?
Okay, yeah, so I've probably done, let me go how many orders I've done on Amazon actually. So I can give you some sort of stats because you guys want stats.
Everybody wants the stats.
Yeah, so it looks like I've done like over almost 2,000 orders on Amazon, and I've probably gotten two complaints.
That's the exact
That, that's
thing I was gonna say.
that's very minimal.
Yeah, I've noticed about one out of every 1,000 people complain. The one thing though you don't know is, are they only just oh, Sawar's on here. What's up, Sawar? How's it going?
Yeah, he's on
Uh,
there. I saw him.
the one thing that you don't really know is, are they not just complaining to you, or are they also complaining to like Amazon or eBay themselves, where eBay just kind of covers it up and doesn't really do anything or say anything about it? That's one thing you can't really tell.
Okay, so let me speak on that also. So with them telling like Amazon, that's actually like some sort of thing that's happening with Amazon because like like a week ago or something, a lot of dropshipper got like an email from Amazon saying you're breaking the rules and you better fix it. And it's kind of like a warning essentially. And I'm assuming that all comes back to the customers complaining that they're getting their shit from Walmart and
Yeah.
the other suppliers.
One thing that I noticed though, I mean, I don't buy from Walmart. I try to stay away from Walmart in real life and online unless I'm doing retail related arbitrage with it, because Walmart sucks. But I did buy one thing from Walmart, so I almost got drop shipped. I almost fooled myself with my own plan. I was on Amazon and I was buying these little Sterilite things, which are right here, these plastic things in my corner next to my dresser to stack up. And basically, I was looking on Amazon and I was like, oh, they're $33, but nobody's selling them Prime. I was like, huh. I almost bought them. And then I was like, fuck, I need to check Walmart for this. So I checked and they were on Walmart for like 22 bucks. So I did ship them to myself and they did not come with any sort of anything inside. There was no invoice. It didn't come in a Walmart box. It said Sterilite on it. The only thing from Walmart that you would have seen was where it shipped from. If you actually check the shipping label on it, it said Walmart. But who the fuck checks that? Nobody checks that.
And that's the thing with these guys. So they actually also dropship, except they actually do wholesale dropship and private label dropship, not the type of dropship that we do because we are doing it for them. So they actually like goes reverse back into the drop shipping chain is what they do. And
So
a lot of people think like they don't drop ship at all, and they're just like, oh, I can't drop ship from them, but they drop ship too.
So yeah, another thing on that, like exactly what you said. So this dresser in my background, this is a brand new dresser. My mom bought it for me for Christmas. Thank you, Mom. This is a great dresser. But it was American Furniture Warehouse, and I live in Colorado now, and there's like 3 or 4 locations in Colorado and some in Arizona, I think. And they sell online, and it literally says on their website which ones they're drop shipping, and it tells you where they're drop shipping it from. And I was like, why would they do that? And it's like comes from South Shore Furniture, drop ship. And then it says comes from Ashley Furniture, drop ship. So at that point in time, I was like, why don't I go and try to talk with South Shore or Ashley Furniture and start their items? Then you look on SKU Grid and you notice Ashley Furniture is already on SKU Grid. So some genius has already been doing this. I was like, oh my God. This is what you really need to be doing.
Okay, so let me actually tell you guys a story that actually happened to me when I was selling on Amazon with one of the Walmart items. So I was selling an item a lot of times, and one of the supplier actually reached out to me asking me about my Walmart order. It wasn't Walmart themselves; it was the actual supplier. Like they were just saying, "Where do you want this to be shipped?" or "Who's this going to?" And I'm just like, "This is not Walmart. Why are you reaching out to me?" I don't understand. And they're just like, and I'm just okay. I'll just reply, and then they're just okay. We'll go ahead and process your order, and it just not even from Walmart. So they drop ship from that supplier, and that supplier actually reached out to me to my email.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely happening, and
it's just happening.
That's the thing, that you can't trust the internet nowadays. I don't know where any of my stuff's coming from. As long as that, I don't know, dude. It's kind of sketchy, but
you think you're smart. You think you're smart, but then you're still getting drop shipped.
Yeah, no matter what. I mean, you can't really fix it.
I mean, it is what it is.
So Todd said if you mix dropship and reselling items together, it seems to work. So I do think that actually might be a plan or some sort of plan, whether you're like wholesaling and dropshipping on the same account. And another thing, like Andre did say back in the day, like he does do that on some of his accounts, but like I don't want to be the guy that's wholesaling things out of my apartment and shipping things out. I've done that before and it's not fun. It's really not fun.
Yeah, it's a lot more work.
So, I mean, I'm not there to do that. I'd rather just make sure everything's legitimate. If eBay's asking for papers, obviously get the paperwork. I filled out some applications for some weird ass suppliers in the last couple days just to try to see how it goes. And yes, the barrier to entry is higher. You do need an LLC. You do need a reseller certificate for all of these things. And, you know, that's kind of where I think things are heading. And I think that it's better in that respect because not everybody and their mother will be able to do it anymore. Or, I mean, if they're still doing Amazon and eBay, which I do still think is viable. It's viable to a degree and it's going to work. And if you're, you know, looking for a couple $100 extra a month, yes, it's going to work. Maybe 1,000, a couple thousand. But like eventually, if you want to take, I mean, I'm sure you have big aspirations. I've seen you're always active and I have big aspirations. Like if you want to take this to the next level, it needs to get more legitimate in the future.
Yeah, and it just all comes down to, you know, you being legit. And it's actually important on Amazon actually too, because they want to know that your business is legit and they actually ask you questions. And depending on how you answer it, they will let you sell again. And if you don't know what to say to them, you're done.
Yeah, I could see that being a thing easily. Monthly calling in 1 year got almost $1 billion, and I sold my account. Oh yeah. So that was Jenny talking about increasing her account limits. Christian says that YouTube lives are greater than Facebook lives. It seems that way. We got a lot of people here the whole time.
Yeah.
Somebody asked Skew Grid versus. All right, we answered that one. What else do we have here? Good to know. Where can I buy Amazon gift cards in bulk? This is the biggest question I've ever heard. I mean, I guess I understand it, but I don't know. I don't use Amazon gift cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of I see more of like international sellers that are asking those questions. Really.
Yeah, that is very true. One thing I thought of is like I have an Amazon 5% cashback like credit
Yeah.
card. Why can't I just buy gift cards, which I know I can, for 5% off, and then create a gift card website and then just sell it for like break even and then make like a little bit of profit on it? I guess I could. It would just be a lot of work. And then my credit
and,
limit would probably be through the roof, and then it would be probably registered as fucking fraud.
and you get a bunch of chargebacks.
That is very true.
Yeah,
Then
it's
I'd
not
charge.
fun.
Yeah, that I don't want to do that. All right, I'm out. Never mind, guys. So Noah said, "Good luck with Walmart. Been trying to get on there for 6 months." Yeah, I didn't have very high expectations with getting onto a Walmart selling, but they do ask you for your eBay account and your Amazon account names. So I gave them my best accounts, and I mean, I sold over $1.3 million this year on eBay. So I would hope that that gives me some sort of, some sort of viability. But they do ask you like, how many of your SKUs are drop shipped? How many of them do you have with you? What are the SKUs here? I think this is a lot
Yeah.
of questions. I just don't know if I want to answer them all legitimately.
I think when you want to sell on Walmart, I think they really want like super legitimate like seller, not just like any typical like seller. Like eBay is easy to get in, and then Amazon's the next step. And if you want to get into Walmart, you have to even have more legitimate stuff with you. You know?
100%. But I think that those things, those levels of legitimacy are what set apart, like, the big dogs. Like if I
Yeah.
wanted to get in there, if I somehow schemed my way onto Walmart,
Yeah.
how many other people are selling on Walmart?
Yeah. Not very many.
Do you code yourself? Oh, she's talking to Jenny right now. So 42 watching right now. Let's get oh yeah, thank you, Sawar. We got 42 people watching. Let's get some thumbs up in here. I've noticed that there's been a thumbs up and a thumbs down switching back and forth the entire time. I don't know who's doing that,
Getting
but
trolled.
yeah, like getting I feel like that's happening. How many people took to build on Spotify? So this is just I think we went through the majority of the questions. How to use PayPal method on Amazon? You can't, can you?
No, you can't.
Oh yeah, with purchasing. The
They,
site
they deposit directly to your bank account. So
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know how that's possible.
yeah.
The site web on a gift card. All right. I mean, I feel like if you get approved to sell on Walmart, you can then also sell on Jet and all of their affiliates. I actually don't think that's true. I think you have to sign up for Jet separately. I'm pretty positive I
I
read
don't
that.
know about that.
So I mean, what other all right, so we got like 9 minutes left. It'll be an hour. I think that's a good point. What's your future goals, would you say, for like the rest of this year? So everybody that's watching right now can hear what Ty's plans are.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the year, well, coming closer to 2018, and I just want to prepare for next year because you want to prepare, right?
That's
And
all I'm doing.
yeah, I think what I really need to stay on top of is the bookkeeping, the accounting, the taxes. That's really important. Mine is a mess, definitely a mess. And then I set goals for myself, what I'm gonna do with YouTube, and actually take YouTube more seriously next year because this entire year I just published YouTube videos, and it's just like, okay, you guys watch it, helps you, cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my plan for YouTube for 2017, but 2019, I want to start pushing out more content, getting my own course, not to make a lot of money. My purpose for my course is just to help you guys, really, not really about the money. And that's the goal of the course, moving. And yeah, that's kind of some of my goals there.
All right. I mean, that's good shit. Good shit. Do you have any selling goals? Like how much you want to sell on, eBay or Amazon?
Okay, I mean, on eBay, I don't know, but like on Amazon, I'm definitely gonna be doing 100K every month at least. That's my goal. I mean, I can do it. It's just the capital, the cash flow is just kind of tough. But
Yeah.
after a while, you'll be able to balance that and control that essentially.
No, I feel you. That's kind of where I want to average 100,000. And if I average 100,000, all right, say shit hits the absolute fan and you make like 5% profit, front and back end added together. That's still $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Hey, running capital expenses on Amazon. I mean, all you need is web scraper app and Informed if you're going that route, and that's what, like maybe $300 something a month, and then VAs. Like worst comes to worst, you're still making close to like $4,000 a month at the very worst if you're doing 100,000. Like very, very worst. And I would say that it would be a lot better. Like that's a complete lowball estimate. And like that's close to what I was making as an engineer. I was making $5,000 a month as an engineer. So after that, it's like I would rather spend my time helping other people, teaching other people, making YouTube videos, just finding other ways of income. And I don't really want to be the guy that's like just pigeonholes himself into, eBay dropshipping or Amazon dropshipping and just becomes that like 100% that guy. And I thought I kind of realized that's what I was doing with eBay. And I had to step back because I put a lot of effort into eBay and I hit 200,000 in September and I made a lot of money doing it. And then I was like, well, what if eBay just ends tomorrow? Then I'm sitting there like screwed. Like, so and I'm like, I'd rather just do decently well on a lot of the platforms instead of doing extremely well on just one is where I'd rather go. But we did just get a whatever the fuck those things are called, super chats from Luxury Card Store. And it's funny you asked this question, Luxury Card Store. So I actually looked into this yesterday and I couldn't find it on their website either. So I do plan on hitting them up. I did notice that some of their items are on eBay, some of their items are on Amazon, and they are a store being repriced on SKU So you could use it for either, Nordstrom's, you could use it for either eBay or Amazon. And I do think that they are a decent source. I found some blog post on like Big Commerce or something about just different types of programs and whatnot, or for like different like furniture, clothes, what would be some decent drop shipping like websites. And Nordstrom's was brought up under one of those categories. So that's why I checked it. And I do plan on, I'm doing the fucking community a service in the next week or so. I plan on going through every single US supplier on SKU and seeing if they have a dropship program advertised on their website. And I mean, it's very easy to do. You just have to scroll down to the bottom and usually it'll say dropship policy. But it's like 300. It's going to be awful. And then, if they have an obvious one, I'm going to write them down. A lot of them aren't very obvious, but some of them are obvious. But I'd like to do the ones that, are obvious. Like I found Costway the other day. And the only reason why I found Costway is because I was looking at TrackerBot and I wanted to find an overlap between TrackerBot supported suppliers and web scraper app for Amazon so that I didn't have to upload my own tracking because I'm lazy. So then, Costway is actually covered on TrackerBot and on web scraper app. So I looked at them and they have a dropship program and they definitely source like wholesale from China. And I asked Ron about it. He said that they're pretty decent, but their return policy kind of sucks. So we'll see. I got in contact with them. I got accepted. And that's one of those things with, if you're getting accepted by these suppliers, you need to follow their rules because they're going to set out rules. Some of them don't let you sell on Amazon. Some of them only let you sell on eBay or on your Shopify store. Another one that was weird is they didn't let you use your their first image as your first image. So they don't want you to have like the same first image. So they said that you could either take like 4 images together and collage them or just change the first one and make it the second one or whatever, like just do that. So, I mean, you kind of always got to realize that these suppliers are in control. Like this is one of my last things I want to say here. These suppliers are in control. And you need to follow their rules. And like, sure, you can get upset. Like, oh, I saw somebody else selling it on Amazon. And sure, they probably are. And they're probably breaking the rules. But is it worth it in the long run is really what I would like to ask there. It doesn't seem like it's worth it. And if you're just going to get caught, then there's no point. Or they're going to take away your selling privileges or report you. Maybe your Amazon account gets banned. It's really not worth it. But so, I mean, that's what I have to say about all these. I've been putting a lot of work into trying to figure out these other alternative dropshipping suppliers. So
have you looked into Shopify yet?
No, I mean, I don't see the need to. I think that as long as you can find good suppliers, then the traffic's already there on eBay and Amazon. And I understand where people are like, they take fees and stuff like that. But I'd rather them take a fucking fee than me have to spend that fee on running Facebook ads. Because that fee's coming in somewhere. And it's going to take a lot of money to find your Facebook ads. Sure, eventually over time, would I like to get into it? Yes, but how am I going to vet out my supplier? First off, Shopify, you want to really know what you're selling. Like, you're not just going to sell random things that you're not good or knowledgeable in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to find that supplier, get good at finding out what their good products are, what their best products are, and everything from Amazon and eBay. Preferably eBay as the #1 like research platform because they are the flea market of the internet. And secondly, move it on to Amazon. And then from there, if I wanted to really get ballsy and go out there, then try to do Shopify or something. But, you need to learn Facebook ads. You need to find the proper demographic, which we found out is really like the #1 thing you need for Facebook ads. Because we've been running Facebook ads for my course recently, and we have some guy running it, and he has no idea what he's doing. And we have like one of the videos has like 12,000 views on it, and we like 0 conversions. I was like, there's something going on here. Like, he's doing something wrong.
Yeah. And when you're doing stuff with suppliers, as you said, they're in control. Like, and them having control is, you relying on them to do your business. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like where the private label thing come in, like where you actually buy your own product, you store your own product, you trademark or whatever. So that way, no one can just come in and be like, hey, you can't sell this no more. Like, you actually have the paperwork.
My roommate just set off our smoke detector cooking. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's where we'll leave it because
Yeah.
Candace doesn't know how to cook properly. So thank you guys. Toss a like down, and I'm gonna end the broadcast here. And we can stay on here for a bit afterwards, Ty.
All right.
Thank you guys for coming by.